Hi there, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and blog. Today I have card number 2 for you for my Encouraging Cards series. So if you watched the first one, you kind of have an idea of what the reasoning behind this is. And so my goal is to make at least one encouraging card a week and then send that card to someone I know who needs a little encouragement. For my card, I am going to be using this super cute Tough Guy set from Avery Elle that I showed you the other day in a haul video. I just think he's too dang cute, and you know you're going to be seeing him a lot more. I love him, and he's easy to color too. So I have a piece of Neenah Cream cardstock, and I'm just going to place that in my mini Misty, and I'm inking it up with some Fawn jet black ink because I plan to do some Copic coloring. And I'm going to ink him twice because I want it good and crisp, and I want those black lines to be good and dark. And so after I've inked it up twice, I'm going to make sure that it's dry by heat setting it. And so for my Copics, you'll see I've got those up on the screen for you for each one of those sets. I'm going to do some very simple Copic coloring. Most of the time I'm only using 2 colors. For the weights, I will use those 3 that are up there, the C3, C5, and C7. And I tend to try to, or at least in this case, my light source is going to be coming from that upper left-hand side. And I'm just blending out. I start with my lightest color first because that's what works best for me, and I find that when I do that I actually don't use a lot of Copics, or at least I'm not real heavy-handed. And I don't know, you have a tendency, at least I used to, when I would try to go dark to light because I try and blend that dark out, and it was just so hard, so I started with the light because it gets the paper wet. Copics stay wet for a little while, and so you want to work in sections. And because these are small sections, I can go ahead and put all that color down that I want, and then I can move on to the next color, which is the E04 in this case. And I'm going to add some shadowing to him. And normally the E04 would be a little bit dark, but I'm going to blend that out pretty well with the E11. This is probably my favorite skin tone combination. And like I said, I'm working in sections and blending out because I don't want it to dry, because that's how you get the harsh lines. For whatever reason, this stamp set reminds me of my son, probably because, you know, I don't know. It just does. And so I'm going to kind of color it to look like my son. Not that my son has a mustache. And so I'm going with like a sandy blonde hair with the E42 and the E43. Super simple blending, just using the 2 colors. And then I picked out some patterned paper, and that's where these colors come from as far as the red and the teal that I'm going to use. So I started with the R17, and I'm using my shading color as the R27, and then I'll do his stripes. He's, like I said, a super easy image to color because while he's a fairly big image, the sections that you're coloring aren't really big. I think I'm really starting to love these Avery Elle. I don't know why I didn't buy any of them before. So you'll see more of those. And then for my teal color, I'm using BG23 and BG75. And typically those are pretty far on the spectrum as well. But I just thought that they blended nicely and gave a good shadow. And I'm using a gold Spica pen to color his buckle. And now I'm actually going to stamp his tattoos. Yes, this stamp comes with some tattoos. And so I picked the one that says Mom. And then I'm also picking the heart with the arrow through it. And I'm stamping those down with the Fawn jet black ink as well. And then I'm going to tape the die into place with some washi tape. And then I'm going to run that through my Big Shot off screen. I like how this die has a section that cuts out the area that is where, you know, right above his head and below the weight. I've trimmed down some super old but super cute pattern paper from Echo Park. And then all of my pieces are trimmed out, so I'm going to get ready to start assembling those. So I just want to figure out how I'm going to put those down. And I decide I kind of want a cockeyed look. I don't know why. I just do. But I'm going to stamp the sentiment first on a strip of cream or Neenah Cream cardstock. And that's just going to say, stay strong. I thought that was a nice encouraging sentiment. You could use that for a lot of different cards, not just one that has this amazing tough guy on him. I'm telling you, I'm in love with it. And now I'm going to glue down my panel to my card base using the Tombow Mono Multi Adhesive. Each of those pieces is getting trimmed down. I want this to be a fairly flat card, easy to send in the mail, and not very thick. So all of those images are going to get glued down with the Tombow Mono Multi. And I'm gonna, as I decided I kind of wanted him to be straight. I didn't want him to be cockeyed. And then I'll glue him down, and then I want to stamp something on the inside. But I have I plan to write a pretty decent amount. I'm trimming off the excess right here, but I plan to write a decent amount on the inside, so I don't want a big image on there, and I don't want it to be too dark. So I decided I would use my Versamark ink, which is also a watermark ink on darker cardstocks. So I'm just going to set him in there, grab my Mini Misty so that I don't screw it up, put him back in there, and then use the Versamark ink. And then once I'm done stamping him, that's it. I'm not adding any more embellishments. That is going to be all she wrote, kids. So if you like this card, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, because like I said, I think I want to try to do Mondays as my encouraging card series day. Don't hold me to it. We'll see how it works out. But so far I think that's what I want to do. So hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss anything. And I appreciate so much you stopping by.